The trilogy between Deiveson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno goes the distance for the second of those three times. This time, Deiveson Figueiredo, Dominic, and new once again, wins back his UFC men's flyweight title from Brandon Moreno. It was a unanimous decision. When the judges' scorecards were read off, were you how did you feel about the decision? Were you surprised? Did you agree with it? Did you score it any other way?
I was stunned. I was stunned at the fact that they were clean. Everyone had the same scorecard. Couldn't believe it. We have seen fights that are much less competitive that have had 10 times worse scorecards than this one. Because at the end of this 25 minutes, didn't have a damn clue who won the fight. I texted and said, you know what? It's a draw. Let's just somehow score the fifth round a tie. We'll book it a fourth time. Fuck it. We'll do it that way. But then they come out and go, unanimous. And all three said 48-47. I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was like, I was shocked. I really was shocked. I thought the scorecards are going to be all over the place. I did.
I agree.
Can you agree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I completely agree. That's what I thought. And when it happened, so when I saw the scorecards that way, I said, oh, okay, Moreno's retaining. I don't know why that's what went through my head. Like, again, I didn't score the fight for him. I couldn't score this fight. I couldn't.
No.
Like, I kind of tried, but I couldn't.
I had it 2-2 going into the fifth, but all four rounds could have went like either way, really. But then the fifth round, dude, that is one of the most competitive rounds I've ever watched in the UFC ever.
So I was watching it with my mom and sister, and they're not like big fans, but they my mom used to watch a lot of the big time boxing fights back in the day. Actually, her and my dad, I've talked about this. They used to rent the like very early UFC. So like she's kind of an OG compared to us, but
right.
Not like big fans or anything. And Macy, my sister, she goes, who do you think's winning before round 5? And I said, I don't know, but I said whoever wins this round, I think is going to win this fight.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's kind of how it happened, I think. I didn't look at the scorecards. I know they're probably out there, but I'd be curious to see, even though they all were clean in terms of 48-47, I wonder if they all scored the same rounds for the same fighter.
Right.
I'll be curious. I didn't look that up. I saw the main event one, which, again, the 49-46 didn't make any sense. But
yeah.
Regardless, Deiveson is now the champion again, Dominic.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, he was, pretty decent underdog for this one. And I got to say, this is one of the, things that sucks about not being able to do the show, live on Friday.
Yeah.
That, there's a lot that happens between Wednesday evening and Friday morning when this gets released. And the biggest of that is the weigh-ins and even the pre-fight press conference. By the way, one of the worst press conferences I think I've ever.
I turned it off.
4 guys who aren't the most natural English speakers in the world. A lot of people asking a lot of stupid questions.
Yeah.
No offense to the French, but your representatives at this press conference did not make you look very good. But anyways, the weigh-in specifically, Deiveson Figueiredo looked amazing.
Especially for his standards.
Yes. Now, when he weighed in, he still looked like a dead man walking, but just comparatively,
yes,
he did it on his own power. He was. By that night, when they were doing the, the weigh-ins in person or whatever, what do they call that? Where they...
Ceremonial weigh-in?
Yeah, ceremonial weigh-ins. He was bouncing around. He looked very energetic. And it seems, Dominic, that there was an emphasis for Figueiredo to take seriously his cardio training as well as his dieting for this fight. Over just, really working on the power. And I think by doing that, it actually helped his power in the fight because these shots compared to like the first fight, that was Figueiredo's better showing of the two before this one. He was landing a lot of amazing, powerful shots in that first fight, but Moreno just wouldn't go down.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't go down. And here, he dropped Moreno a couple times.
I think he had 3 knockdowns, 2 or 3.
Stunned him. And I don't know in the first fight if he had won.
Yeah.
I mean, Moreno would not go down in that first fight. So I think the power was much improved because he came in healthier, he came in leaner, and he was faster in the cage. But Brandon Moreno also, man, just looked so poised. He looked like a champion in there. Really fought with the confidence of a champion. He fought with the bravado of a champion. And even though he lost this fight, I mean, really nobody lost this fight. Because let's be clear, I have my apologies, my sincerest apologies to people like Alexandre Pantoja, Askar Askarov, or even Kaikar France, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
This fight must be run back a 4th time.
I mean, it is 1-1 to 1. 1 win for Moreno, 1 win for Figgy, and a draw. You have to do it a 4th time. They both want it a 4th time. When Deiveson Figueiredo wins the belt, and one of the first things he says is, let's do it a 4th time, say less, bud. You guys have delivered every single fight. These two were born to fight one another, is what it feels like. They are both so dead even in their skills and the way that their styles can clash in the octagon. It is one of the best rivalries in recent memory, and it needs to be ran back a 4th time. No ifs, no ands, and no buts.
And I can't remember if we really talked about this on Friday or if we've done this on a roundtable. I'm sure we've, at least off recording, we have talked about like the potential of Figgy to win this fight and what that would, do you do a 4th fight right away? And I bet going in, we both would have said no.
Yeah,
no, you got Pantoja was supposed to get this opportunity and he got passed over. You got to give a guy like him or Askarov or Kaikar France, whoever wins that fight in March, the next shot. And then you watch the fight, though, and you just go, God, it was so close, though. Yeah. It was such a close fight. I mean, there was no losers here. Both guys looked at they were at the top of their athletic performance, and
unreal.
It was a joy to watch. I mean, it really was. Just, again, started out, I wouldn't say slow, but it was more of a finding your range for about a round and a half. And then once those guys got a little more comfortable with, I guess, the type of fight they were going at, it wasn't the level. The first fight is still the best one.
Just like wild, right?
But this fight was, I mean,
they were both flowing.
This has got to be one of those that's going to be a sneaky fight of the year at the end of the year, potentially.
Oh, yeah, man. What a joy to watch.
It felt a lot like Jan versus Sandhagen in a way. Like just a very high-level fight.
Edge of your seat, you know, waiting on a moment, and then a moment would happen, but then Moreno would bounce back and land shots, vice versa. I mean, God. Whew.
Yeah, all in all, you got to do the 4th fight. There's just no question. Anything else, I will not accept. And I can't believe I'm saying that, because if they book Deiveson versus Pantoja next, how could I be upset at that? Pantoja deserves a title shot,
right?
But you got to settle this score. There's got to be a guy that truly separates himself as I am the champion.
Yes.
And the interesting wrinkle is that I keep waiting for Deiveson to make that jump to 135, and then after this, I'm like, maybe he's again. Long term, I don't know if he'll be able to keep this up, but he's the champion again. He definitely ain't going anywhere now. So it was an awesome fight. It was the best fight of the main card, at least. One of the best fights on the whole card. I think that the crowd, the way that they exploded for Brandon Moreno and the way that they fucking hated Deiveson Figueiredo shows that these two, despite the fact that the press conference, the trash talk, it's a little cringy at times because they don't speak the best English. But at the end of the day, when they're fighting, it shows through yeah, whatever. Davison's trying to play up the heel stuff, and Moreno is such a natural, just hero, like a
Yeah.
natural guy
Yeah.
to root for. But when they fight, it's clear that these are two guys that want nothing more but to be the best in the world.
Yes.
And that's why Anaheim, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because booing Deiveson Figueiredo after he put up that kind of performance, what the
Unacceptable.
fuck is wrong with you? I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. The guy was, he was talking a lot of shit before the fight. But come on, man. They went to war, and then he offers a fourth fight immediately.
In Mexico, the Cajunes.
And you're going to boo him?
Yeah.
That just bothered me. But whatever. All in all, this doesn't take away from the fact the fight was awesome. Can't say anything about Deiveson getting the belt. It was so funny. I saw, I forget who it was, if it was Bronstetter or one of those guys that I have like the notifications on for, or Okamoto or someone, tweeting at the end of the fight, how close it was before the scorecards got read. And the first comment, the top comment, was someone going, yeah, definitely nobody should be able to call this one a robbery.
Yeah.
And then the literal next top comment was someone going, complete robbery, Moreno should have won.
Yeah. This was the furthest thing from a robbery.
I think there's just people that are going to call it a robbery no matter what.
That word gets passed around like candy on Halloween, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's get into it.